Hey guys, welcome to the finale of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we went through Hyrule Castle and cleared out the whole entire dungeon and even got our last Beaver stamps and completely 100% of this game. In today's episode, it's time. It's finally time to take on the showdown with Ganondorf. So without further ado, let's go through the door. Now we are here at the top of Hyrule Castle. So, he's got to go up the staircase and confront the Demon King himself. Welcome to my castle. So you're Ganondorf. I've been dying to meet you. Your people have always amused me, Midna. To defy the gods with such petty magic, only to be cast aside. How very pathetic. Pathetic as they were, though, they served me well. Their anguish was my nourishment. Their hatred bled across the void and awakened me. I drew deep of it and grew strong again. Your people had some skill, to be sure, but they lacked true power. The kind of absolute power that those chosen by the gods wield. He who wields such power would make a suitable king for this world, don't you think? Ha! Such conceit! But if you are one of the chosen wielders of power, as you claim, I will risk everything to deny you. Shadow has been moved by light, it seems. How amusing. Very well. Deny me then. Yes, try to deny me, you and your little friend. Both of you faithless fools who would dare take up arms against the King of Light and Shadow. So you choose, and you shall feel my wrath. It's kind of weird hearing Ganondorf's laughter come out of Zelda's body. But yes, we are fighting Ganon's puppet, Zelda. Zelda has been taken control by Ganondorf's influence. And this is nothing more than a tennis match between you and Zelda with the electrical ball of energy. This is kind of a standard in every Zelda game to have some sort of Ganondorf fight that involves you volleying a ball of light back and forth. So you have to attack it whenever it's about ready to hit you. I did a really bad job there, and I let it hit me. But Zelda's going to be sending these electrical ball of energy at you, and you gotta play tennis with her. Like I said, this is kind of a staple in every Zelda game, and I think you can use a bottle for this, like the other Zelda games, if I'm too sure. But at enough volleys, and Zelda will get attacked by it. But that's not the only thing Zelda does. Zelda does more than that. When she raises her sword, she'll have a Triforce insignia on the floor. Make sure you jump out of it, because that'll hurt you if you're not quick enough out of it. And then her other attack is she'll swoop down and try to attack you with the pointy end of the sword. So that's pretty much it. There's only like 3 attacks that she does. This is the main one. This is the one that actually damages her, because you can't actually damage Zelda at all during this. You can't use bows, you can't use anything. She'll just go out of the way even though she's floating around and stuff like that. You can only attack her with the magical ball of light here. I don't think, like I said before, I've never really tried it, but I don't think the bottle works on. I think the bottle actually still works on this fight, just like like in every other Zelda game where you can use the bottle during these like climactic final battles and stuff. I'm not too sure. I think it works, or I could have been wrong. Yeah, this is the other attack where she kind of like tries to poke you with the pointy end of the stick. You just dodge out of the way. It's really not that hard of a fight. You have to do it 3 times. You have to hit her 3 times with the electrical ball of light. I'm trying to get out of there before I become intensely lightified. That even isn't a word. Just jump out of the way. It's just like being a matador at a bullfight. Okay, here we go. I still really suck at the volleyball stuff. Like, when I just played Ocarina of Time for the first time, and I was doing the Ganondorf fight in that one, and I was still having a hard time trying to do the tennis match. There you go. Expunge Ganondorf's influence. That's not it. Dark Beast Ganon. Ganondorf has turned into a beast, just like we did. He turned into a giant pig. You know, what he's based off of from the original Legend of Zelda. For this fight, it'd be best to turn into Wolf yourself. Take him on beast. So, for this fight, he's gonna go running around, knocking down columns and stuff like that. But he'll be spawning these portals that you'll notice around here, if I can find it. Oh, I missed my chance here. But he will be spawning around these portals here. And you have to keep an eye on the portals where they're coming out of. If I can find the portal. There's one. There's another one. You just gotta keep an eye on where the portals spawn. Wait until it turns blue. That's the one he's about ready to... He's about ready to come out of. Whenever it turns blue, he's about ready to come out of that one. So just keep him... When he does, you have to push the A button to hold him down with Midna's giant hand. So, you gotta push him. Hold the A button, and as soon as you do that, you throw him with the left stick. Now for here, you can jump attack and start nomming on his scar and do some major damage to him. Or you can transform into a human and just attack with your sword. I don't know. I think it does a little bit more damage if you use your sword, but I always like fighting him mono-e-mono or beast-on-beast like this. So I always just fight him in wolf form whenever I do this fight. I know it might be a little bit easier transforming into Link and attacking with the sword, but I just always, I don't know, I just like this boss fight so much, and I respect the developers for the way that they do it, because this is honestly, the whole entirety of this boss fight with Ganondorf is probably my favorite boss fight in the entire series, in the entirety of video games itself. He will also be like above you, dropping down on the floor, and you have to dodge his shadow. And then whenever he does that, he'll back up and charge again, like he did just now. And I just threw him on the floor again like that. So just be mindful. He might not be doing the portal thing. He might be doing I'm gonna fall on the floor thing. So just be mindful of what's going on here. But yeah, this is probably my favorite boss fight, the whole entirety of it, in all of video games. I love this boss fight so much and what they did to design this boss fight. It has an encompass of everything that makes Twilight Princess, and I love it to death. So that's why I try to fight him with the beast form instead of transforming into Link and just, you know, attacking his stomach with a sword. I love the music that goes along with this too, because the music is really good in this boss fight, and all the phases of the boss fight, anyways. All right, so I think this might be our last nom on his tummy, so I think we might be finishing off the boss fight here. Tack. Nope. Oh, we got one more phase. Okay. It might take a little bit longer because I'm doing this wolf form. But like I said before, I like this fight, and I like fighting him as wolf form because it just you know, it makes sense. You know, Ganondorf turned into a giant beast. Why don't we take him on with our regular beast form? Okay, here we go. Oh, I wasn't lined up perfectly on that spot. Well, that's okay. Yeah, he's just charging around here. I'll watch out for him to come out here. And finally just throw him down on the ground. There's nom on his tummy. With that, we've taken care of Dark Beast Ganon. And the light power that Zelda had given Midna is returning to her body. But, Princess, I... Say nothing, Midna. Your heart and mine were as one, however briefly. Such suffering you have endured. Well, Ganon's not done yet, though. With that, Midna has transported us to safety. She stayed behind to fight Ganondorf. But Ganondorf has survived that. Spirits of light, wielders of the great power that shines far and wide upon the lands of our world. In my hour of need, grant me the light to banish evil. All the spirits of light that we freed from the springs. Giving us light arrows. Link. Chosen hero. Lend us the last of your power. I'll try to slow Ganondorf with my light arrows. You target him and keep him within range of my arrows. Okay, so for this boss fight, this part of the boss fight, we are going to be fighting Ganondorf on horseback, and I did a really crappy job. This is going to be really hard for me because I'm not very good at horseback combat, as you guys could tell from the whole entire LP. But our job is to chase Ganondorf and target him. Let Zelda on the back here attack with the light arrows. And whenever she does, she will hit him. And that'll give us a chance to attack him whenever he's weak down like that. Whenever he has his guard down like that. Now, Ganondorf is going to be, for the most part, he's going to be riding around attacking us and stuff like that. But he will also summon his phantom ghosts, which will knock us down. And kind of make our job a little bit harder. I'm making life a little bit harder because I can't attack it. Dang it, I'm blown up. But yeah, I have a hard time with the horse fighting. But this part of the fight, we are basically chasing Ganondorf down. And he will summon his spirit ghosts, which will knock you down if you're not too careful, like I am. And then Ganondorf will come over and start charging right at you because you're defenseless right now. But yeah, we're just going basically playing catch up with him and just letting Zelda try to attack with the light arrows. Oh, damn! I always get hit by those damn those damn spirit ghosts that he summons. This part of the boss fight is like probably the hardest part. Just because I'm just not very good at horseback fighting. Alright. Finally attack him. Come on now. There we go. Attacked him there. Hey, come on, Zelda. Ah. Dang it. He turned at the last second. And she missed. Oh, wait, why are they going that way? I thought they were going to come charging right at us. Now they're just going to you know, go the other way instead. That's okay. I got a lot of hearts, so it's fine. Alright, now just gotta catch up to him and attack him. With that ends this phase of the boss fight. An impressive-looking blade, but nothing more. Would you hear my desire? To take this foul blade and use it to blot out the light forever. Now, we take on the Dark Lord Ganondorf. We are going to be doing a one-on-one fight, sword fight with Ganondorf. Right off the bat, he does this chance time thing, where if you push A at the last second when he's charging at you with the sword, you can basically get locked into the sword. And you have to mash the A button to get the upper advantage of him. And then whenever you do, you just a couple of side swipes to him. Now for this part of the boss fight, you can use the backslice to kind of get a free pot shot on him. But be careful, he will attack you like, you know, straight up like that. So have your shield up as best you can. If you don't, he will just straight up kick you and kind of throw off your defense a little bit. So whenever he does his attack like that, he will also do a spinny move like that too. So be careful of that, and that kind of goes past your defense a little bit. Backslices are probably the best thing to use against him to kind of get him off balance a little bit. But other than that, that's pretty much it. You just have to wait until you get your chance to open. Use the backslice whenever he's about ready to, you know, attack you. And just guard us down. So that's pretty much it for the boss fight. It's not really that hard, but I love the atmosphere and I love the design of this boss fight. This is, like I said, this 4-phase boss fight with Ganondorf is probably my favorite out of all video games boss fight. This is probably my favorite boss fight in general in all video games. Just the way it's designed, the way it's handled, and the atmosphere that it's given. It's wonderful and I love it to death. Now there's something else that you could do with this. I'll show this off at the end, but you can actually use the fishing pole to distract Ganondorf. And that gives you enough chance to, you know, get a pot shot on him. Yeah, he gets distracted by a freaking fishing pole. But then again, it's like that in every Zelda game where they have, you know, the final boss being distracted by a stupid item. They're just keeping up tradition at this point. I know the final boss of Skyward Sword is distracted by a bug catching net. So it's just tradition at this point that they have something like that. But whenever you do enough damage, do the finishing blow, and you've defeated Ganondorf. I'd probably feel the same too if I had a giant sword shoved right through my chest. Do not think this ends here. The history of light and shadow will be written in blood. That part always creeped me out. It was showing Zed just snap his neck, and it just ultimately kills Ganondorf. Ganondorf is such a badass. He dies standing up. What? Say something. Am I so beautiful that you have no words left? Well, Midna, Link never talked to begin with, so he never had words to have. And with that, that was The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I really love this game to death based on a lot of things. I love the atmosphere it gives. I love the mechanic of using Wolf Link alongside regular human Link. I love the dungeons in this game. The dungeons are really well crafted and everything else. And I love the boss fights too, with Ganondorf obviously being my favorite boss fight in all video games. This fight against Ganondorf is such an amazing climactic battle between all the things that Ganondorf has ever done in the series, really. He took on his pig form, he fought on horseback, he fought, one-on-one fight with sword, and he even did a puppet Ganon thing with Zelda. I love this game to death because I love the characters too. With Link obviously having a lot of character development in this game, compared to like a lot of other Zelda games. Midna being a really, really well-crafted partner character, kind of like Navi and Tattle and the King of Red Lions and Fi and Skyward Sword. But Midna is really special because she has her own personality, and that makes her my favorite partner character in the whole entire series. I absolutely love the other characters too, even the side characters like, you know, Telma and all the children of Kakariko Village, and Renato, the shaman of here, and everything else. And I even the Gorons too. Yeah, I'm going on. I just love all the side characters too. This game is just really good, and it's up there with top 5 Zelda games for me. And I'm just so glad that they re-released this game in a higher quality, and I'm just really happy I got to share this game with you guys, because this game meant a lot to me back in 2006. I love this game to death. This was the first game I bought when I got my Wii. I got my Wii back on launch in 2006, and this was the first game I had. And I spent months playing through this game, trying to complete it and everything else. Yeah, the rewards for collecting all the collectibles in the game weren't really that great. You know, the post souls was kind of useless. The bugs were kind of useless. And all the other extra things to just get infinite money, it was pointless. All the side activities weren't really like that much useful. But I always enjoyed getting them. I don't know why. I just enjoyed picking up even these pointless, you know, collectibles and stuff like that, just because it had more game to play. And I think that when it comes down to it, like, yeah, the rewards might not be really good, but I still had fun collecting all these. I don't know why. I guess it's just the completionist in me. It just makes me feel that way. It's like I had fun collecting this, even though I know that they were pointless. Even especially the Miiverse stamps in this game in particular. The Miiverse stamps actually meant something back in 2016. Back when Miiverse was still around. But, you know, we don't have Miiverse anymore. Miiverse shut down. So, what's the point of collecting these stamps? But, I still did. But, that's just one thing. This game ultimately defined by middle teenage years, effectively. If I had a favorite game from my teenage years that I loved to death, this would be probably up there on the highest part of it. Definitely. I've replayed this game a lot when I was younger, and when I got the HD version, I replayed it like 4 or 5 times, just because I love this game to death, and I'm just so glad I got to share it with you guys ultimately. Now, I know that there's a couple of issues with this re-release. I know a lot of people got mad with the Wolf Link amiibo being a requirement to get extra content for this game, like a dungeon. But ultimately, I still rather enjoyed it, even if it was just a gauntlet and everything else. And I'm just glad that, you know, this game got re-released again. Just like Wind Waker. Wind Waker's my favorite Zelda game, and that got re-released too. So I was really excited when I heard this game got it too. But yeah, that was Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Definitely one of my top favorite Zelda games of all time. It's probably number 3. I'd probably say it's probably my 3rd favorite. Yeah, so here's some characters we haven't seen in a long time. Colin's mother finally had her baby, and I was using that baby carriage we got at the very beginning of the game too. So all the kids from Kakariko are coming back to, or all the kids from Ordon Village are leaving Kakariko, and they're finally coming back home. You know, finally coming back to their parents. And Colin especially. Colin getting the most character development out of all the kids. He is now a brave soldier, just like Link. He has his own sword and shield. Yeah, the environments too are another wonderful thing with this game that I love. Like, we got to see a snowy area. We got to go to a volcano. We got to go to desert. We got to go to basically back in the past. And we got to go into the sky. I just love the environments and different dungeons that they had. I know in Wind Waker they had to cut a bunch of dungeons out, and it ultimately became part of this game that got the dungeons that were cut from Wind Waker. But I'm so glad that they did, because Honestly, if there's one thing I love about this game, it's the dungeons. The dungeons make the game, too. But we're back here with Midna, Zelda, and Link here at the Mirror Twilight. Well, okay, communications. Really, you interrupt me from that. Well, I guess this is farewell, huh? Light and shadow can't mix, as we all know. But never forget there's another world bound to this one. Shadow and light are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other. I know now of the reason that Goddess left the Mirror of Twilight in this world. They left it because it was the design that we should meet. Yes, that is what I believe. Zelda, your words are kind, and your heart is true. If all Hyrule is like you, then maybe you'll do alright. Thank you. Well, the princess spoke truly. As long as the mirror's around, we could meet again. Link. See you later. No! Don't shatter it. Fine, Midna. The mirror's broke. Thus, you can never see Midna again. Yeah, that was kind of a sad ending to that moment because, you know, it's sad because Midna really cared for Link. And I don't know why she did that, but I guess it's so it couldn't be used for evil again. Even though it meant that she'd never be able to see Link again. Yeah. But that's one thing too I like about it. I like the story. The story is really good in this game too. There's all the fairy fountains that have to hold the Great Spirit. And you actually see that there's fairies flying around there because when we unlocked it in the Cave of Ordeals, we unlocked fairies in the fountain. But because we did that, the fairies actually show up in the credits. I love that. And then there's Ordon Spring, where we found our horse for the first time. Now, what I plan on doing after this, I have a bonus video I have ideas for. I'm going to show off some extra things I didn't show off in the Let's Play. There's a couple things in particular that I wanted to show off. I wanted to show off Hero mode, for instance. Hero mode's a harder difficulty of this game, and you take double damage. There's no heart drops, nothing like that. So it's basically a harder version of the main game. Wanted to show off the amiibo functionality in the HD version because there's various amiibo that help out in the game. I actually showed off a couple amiibo in the Cave of Ordeals already, or not Cave of Ordeals, I'm sorry, the Cave of Shadows that I actually showed up. And I wanted to show off some extra things that, you know, I didn't cover in the game. So that's what I plan on doing after this episode. There's going to be one bonus video, and it's just going to be covering all the things that I didn't really show off. There's not much left in the game that I didn't show off, though. So it's not going to be like my last Zelda LP where I had 3 major bonus videos. But with that, Link is returning back home. Ilia's waiting for him. And coming back with Epona. Actually, if you look at it right there, Link's model stops at that point. I always thought that was funny. And with that, that was the end of Twilight Princess. I hope you guys had a fun time like I did, and I really enjoyed this series. This was a really, really fun project for me to do. I was really happy to do it, and I hope you guys really enjoyed my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Now, like I said before, I got a bonus video after this, and I will post it shortly after this finale goes up. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next Let's Play I do. See you guys later.